Week three's come and gone. It's Friday the 13th. Didn't really have too many surprising results. We did have one at least in this county,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yep.
made up for the lack of other shocking results. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you were looking for upset city, you would have to actually go a few counties over for that. You weren't going to find any upsets in Etowah County tonight, and so. But with the biggie, number two in Class 4A, Hoax Bluff, they get their doors blown off by Aniana tonight. They lose 44-13.
I didn't see that one coming.
No, no, not at all. And I think you had a stat on Darian Meads.
Last time he was held for under 100 yards. Last night he had 22 rushes for 88 yards. Last time he was held under 100 was, I want to say it was the second round of the playoffs against Rogers in 2017.
And he was what, a freshman?
He was when he was a sophomore.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you
All
know,
right. Okay. I didn't know whether he was maybe a sixth grader or something
they
like
did win
that.
that game 12-0. But obviously that didn't win it tonight. It's a
Wow.
tough one for the Eagles for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, we certainly didn't see that one coming. Some of the scores around the area. And thanks for joining us, folks, and thanks for being patient with us as well. And if you have any questions, please chime in, and we'll do our level best. Gadsden City falls to Austin 17-6. Etowah big time over Sardis 58-13. That was never in any doubt. Gadsden falls to Sylvania 52-0. Glencoe falls to BB Comer 40-0. Westbrook Christian, I think, just got done with the second half, maybe. Not sure. Wait a minute. There's a score 63-29 over West End in a game that took a little over 3 hours to play. As we said, Aniana over Hoax Bluff 44-13. Buckhorn over Albertville 24-7. Piedmont over Randolph County 27-15. Alexandria over Boaz 34-14. Jacksonville over Cherokee County 35-28. Cedar Bluff, it took overtime to knock off the Wildcats of San Rock 14-7. And Fife 24-3 over Collinsville.
I was at that one, and it was 7-3, Fife at halftime. It sounds a little closer than what it really was. Fife had a chance to go up 14-0, fumbled at the 2. Collinsville drives down the field, ends up kicking a field goal just before halftime to make it look a little better. And then Fife just wore down in the second half. Just those long drives. And they get it 3rd and 3 and 4th and 1, and they convert just about every single time. It's just so tough for a defense to recover. And Fife was able to take care of business, 24-3.
Yeah, they're just a machine in Class 2A, as Teddy said when he walked in tonight. Fife just fifed.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Shout out to Fife Police. I shut my truck door when I got there and realized that I left my keys in my truck. So Fife Police helped me out, so that was great. Daniel says Etowah rode over the lines. Now it's on the south side. Can't wait. South side had the week off, and it was a much needed week off because Etowah is primed and ready to go.
Yeah, they really are. I was at that game for the first half, and Sardis jumped out and they started moving the football, and they moved it deep into Etowah territory, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're going to get a score out of this, and they get held out on downs. So Etowah gets the ball, and I want to say either one or two plays later, it's Trent Davis, and he's going to the house for, I think it must have been about well over 70 yards. And so I was like, okay, all right. So Sardis gets the ball back again, and they start to move the ball again. And I'm like, my goodness. And they're running the ball on Etowah. And so I think they had to punt on that second series. It was either a punt or they were held on downs one. And next thing you know, I think it was the first play, and Nana Davis took it to the house. I was like, well, this, might as well go ahead and warm up the bus. I mean, the band was already ready to get on the field.
Some of
So,
these numbers for Etowah is just Brady Troop, 8 of 10, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. Trent Davis, 7 carries, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is 24.7 yards a carry. And then Nana had 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is 32.5 yards a reception.
yeah,
Just the name of the game for Etowah, big plays. I mean, they have done it
Yep.
since they played Gadsden City all the way through the Sardis game. Big plays, big plays, big plays.
Yeah.
They just have so many big time players that can do that. You know, Troop has grown so much from last year to this year, and then obviously when you have your Trent and your Nana Davis and Ollie Finch and these guys, and Hunter Cox is excellent at fullback as well to pound out some yards. They're just big offensive line, good offensive line.
Yeah.
And then it's time. We're talking about so much about this offense. It's time to give this defense some love too. It really is.
It really is. I mean, when you're holding them to 13 points, and Sardis got a fairly decent offense.
I was shocked. I'm not shocked that I won, obviously, but I'm shocked at how out of hand it got.
Yeah.
And
it got out of hand really quick.
And I thought Etowah would pull away for a pretty big win, but I didn't think that it would happen so quick, I guess.
Yeah.
But Etowah's they're rolling right now, man.
Yeah, they really are. They're rolling. And they've got big play capabilities. They have the ability to run the ball, but then they're breaking these large runs. My question or my thought process is, okay, you're playing in
it's just not a good region.
Subpar region.
I don't think it's a good region at all. Yeah.
What's going to happen when you get hit in the mouth by, say, a Central Clay County again? Are you going to end up just folding, or are you going to rise up to the occasion and play? And unfortunately, with this region, there is nobody really in this region that will be able to play 3 yards in a cloud of dust or really grind them out, hit you in the mouth football.
Right.
And that's a detriment really to Etowah.
I will say this though, if Etowah and this is looking way ahead, which is what we do.
Yeah.
But
That's what we do.
if Etowah goes down big in a game, last year offense, they weren't known for the offense. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
This year, if Etowah goes down a couple of scores,
they have the capability to jump right back into
absolutely.
it. Absolutely.
This offense is just not a bit different from last year.
Yeah.
It's just completely different, and it's going to be interesting to see if that does happen down the road. I think Etowah can respond.
Yeah. Around the state, there weren't too many upsets just of note. Thompson goes on in 7A, beats Oak Mountain. McGill, easy winner there. I haven't seen a Central Phoenix City score just yet. Hoover over number 5, Hewitt Trustful, 28-14. Mountain Brook took care of business. Theodore Lee Montgomery over Auburn, 19-14. And then, of course, as we talked about earlier, Austin, 17-6 over Gadsden City. In 6A, Saraland, your number 1 there, took care of business. So did Pinson Valley, knocking off number 4 Clay Chalkville, 31-7. I was kind of surprised by the score of that, but not surprised by the outcome. Blunt lost to St. Paul's, 29-20. Opelika over Wetumpka, 33-32, which I heard was a barn burner of a game down there. 5A, Jasper over Corner, 42-0. I haven't seen a Central Clay score just yet. Ramsey knocked off number 6 Pleasant Grove, 47-19. Of course, Etowah big over Sardis. So you're not going to see, probably won't see any movement there in 5A. 4A, same thing there. You've got UMS Wright beating Williamson 14-0. The question now is, how far down does Hoax Bluff drop? Do they drop out of the top 10? I don't think so.
No.
I think they probably come in about maybe number 8 or so, but I don't think they're going to drop too far. American Christian, I don't know what their score was. I'm sure Catholic beat Alabama Christian. Hillcrest Evergreen lost to Escambia County in a huge upset, 19-15. So I would imagine that Hillcrest may drop out at 2-2, but I don't see Hoax Bluff fallen too far down. Like I said, maybe 8.
Mm-hmm.
But who
Well, I'll
knows?
tell you that one thing. Hokes Bluff don't care where they fall because they got Anniston next week, and you want to talk about a tough game to have to rebound with.
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be tough.
Yeah, I believe Anniston, they shut out their opponent tonight, and they're again. Like I said, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I said, be on the lookout for Anniston. They are a dangerous football team, and right now, if I'm Anniston, I'm liking my situation right now. You're going up against a Hokes Bluff team that basically they took them behind the woodshed, pulled their pants down, and just wore them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and there's one thing though. Anniston is going to get the best Hokes Bluff they can get.
Yeah.
There's no doubt those kids are going to be fired up for that.
They
game.
should be.
Yeah.
They should be angry and they should be ready to play.
I know Darian Mead's just, he's told me many times, I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
Well, they lost in very convincing fashion, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to want to answer that.
Yeah. So we'll see how they rebound. If you have any questions for tonight, and again we apologize for coming or joining you fairly late tonight. We had I think Glencoe ended up with a lightning delay. A couple other games ran into lightning delays. And then Westbrook and West End decided to play a marathon game tonight, so that took a little bit of time. And then, if you have any questions, please feel free chime in. Also, don't forget to go to the GadsdenTimes.com. Go to the sports section. You can check out the game stories from tonight. Also, check out the photo galleries from tonight. So it's again just another game, another week in the books. The playoff picture is now starting to take shape. Collinsville over Fife, that was for the region championship. Let's just be honest. And so Fife is going to end up winning Region 8. Collinsville, I see them winning out, and they'll finish number 2. So those two teams are going to be at home. Who behind that will end up being there? Etowah, I think you're sitting pretty. I think you can pretty much just cruise. There's going to be a couple bumps there. Alexandria may have a little something to say about that, but beyond that, I don't see any problems there.
Patrick's earlier said he thinks Fort Payne will give Etowah their best.
Fort Payne is a very good football team,
and he had made a very good point. Once Fort Payne is across the 50, they're in field goal range.
They certainly are. Yes, but if you haven't seen their kicker, he kicked a 57-yard field goal last week against Albertville.
This question
that was amazing.
This question right here might be better suited for you. I know you've seen Susan Moore. Justin wants to know who is better, Susan Moore or Geraldine?
Ooh. I have not seen Geraldine, but like I said, I have seen Susan Moore. They're a good, sound, fundamental football team. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're one of those type football teams where if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to play near perfect football. And so I think I would have to give the edge to Susan Moore by just a touch.
Mm-hmm. April says, "Hey guys, go Devils." That is Trent Davis's mom. I'm sure she's extremely proud mom tonight.
She needs to be proud because her son just ran all over Sardis. I think he just scored another touchdown just a minute ago. I don't know. So
Patrick disagrees with you. He says Geraldine's better.
Okay, well, hey, I think it's a flip, maybe a coin flip. Really, it just depends upon who's playing the best game that night.
Adam says, word is Etowah only turned in low to mid 300 numbers in student count, so Etowah may be going to 4A, even 3A next year. I can't see it all going down to 3A, but 4A may not be crazy.
I've heard that. I've heard the rumblings that the Etowah could drop to 4A, and so what? They end up in the same region with Hokes Bluff.
That makes me so mad.
Why?
Because we're 1 year too late.
Oh,
actually, we're 2 years because you know how much what I would have wanted to see, how much I would have spent to see Darian Meads against that Etowah defense, and I guess we're just kind of matchmaking here, but man, that would have been so much fun. And even this year, it'd have been fun to see Etowah go against Hokes Bluff. But
Without a doubt.
because there's no question they're the two best teams in our county, and it just would have been fun to see them go at it. So if they're in the same region next year, it's just 1 year too late.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a bummer because I think we talked about this last year. We would have loved to have seen Hokes Bluff go up against Etowah and see who would win that one. So I don't know.
Patrick says he looks forward to the show all week with laughing emojis, and I'm sure it's because how much you guys disagree. Y'all sure do disagree a lot of things.
Hey, well, that's okay. I mean, and that's what it's all about. Is that sometimes Teddy has to be wrong, and I have to point it out that he is wrong.
Yeah, well, sorry, just like they pointed out to me last week, and then you take care of it.
Boy,
other
did
times.
they ever!
Yeah. April said thank you. He has a solid offense led by a great quarterback. Yeah, I mean, and then give credit to that coach as well. John Holliday's
absolutely.
done a great job.
He has done a whale of a job, and yes, they are led by a very good quarterback. Probably, I would have to say he's one of the better quarterbacks in Northeast Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other quarterback in this area any better than Brady Troop right now. He is playing really good ball, and let me tell you, when he throws it, he's putting one heck of a spin on that ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is tight, and it's a receiver's dream ball, So, and just the play calling alone tonight is, in a way, is you can't even compare this year to last. Etowah just has the ability to strike so quickly with huge plays
in different ways.
Yes.
Patrick, let's see. Adam first off says Hokes Bluff dropping a 3A. Well, I'll say this about the reclass thing, which is a while away, but I remember when the last one happened, we were hearing a lot of different things that were going to happen, and then none of it happened.
Yeah.
So,
like 7A was going to increase in size. That, of course, didn't happen.
So
either.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But but that is coming up. At the end of the school year, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all shapes up.
Yeah. Well, actually, it'll happen, and it should happen. Right? Yeah, it should happen before the end of Christmas break because Coach Savarese said that the numbers are supposed to have been reported from the Department of Education or reported to the Department of Education. I want to say, I think it was 10 or 12 days after Labor Day or something like that. So the numbers are in. So it's just a matter of now figuring out what's going to happen.
Patrick says that I saw him at the 5 game. We fist bumped, so he said he does have that on his side. So it's good to see Patrick tonight. You get to see him. And
I admit, I was the one rogue guy who stood alone and said that Collinsville would knock off Fife. I'm sorry I drank the Kool-Aid. Having seen Collinsville play against North Sand Mountain and see Jacob Jones account for 7 touchdowns, I mean, you got to roll with somebody who's a winner like that. So no disrespect to Fife or to Paul, but I just really thought that Collinsville was really locked in on this game, and Fife just fifed.
You can tell with Collinsville tonight, and they were really using Caleb Jones, trying to get him rolling, whether it be through the air, running the ball, and just he was able to make his plays. Of course, Caleb's going to make his plays, but it's just that Fife defense was just too much to overcome.
Wow.
Daniel, of course, says that Etowah would have beat Hokes Bluff last year because you just didn't run on that defense. That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dairy Mays will be top 3 when it's all said and done, more than likely in the state. It just would have been fun to see. We'll never know.
Oh, it really would have been fun to see him try to run against that defense.
Patrick said the score did not show how close that game was. In his opinion, I think he's talking about the 5 Collinsville game. I don't know. I personally disagree. I thought 5 kind of took care of business, but I guess now me and Patrick can disagree a little bit.
Okay.
But Sylvania and BB Comer both took care of their against Glencoe and Gadsden tonight. Just tough start for Gadsden and Glencoe. Glencoe has yet to score,
Wow.
Gadsden has scored just 6 points, and I want to say that's after an interception set them up in their opponent's 10-yard line or so. So
That's hard to believe that Glencoe has yet to score.
it's been a tough go for them for sure.
And really, if you look at it tonight, those 3 points were the first points that Fife gave up
Right.
so far this season. Their defense has given up 3 points in 3 games,
and that was the result of 5 turnovers. So
yeah.
Westbrook 63-29 over West End. Westbrook is 4-0 heading into Ohatchee next week. We are going to find out how legit Westbrook is.
Yeah, we are. Ohatchee came away with another convincing win again tonight. And so, yeah, you're right, Teddy. We are going to find out just how good Westbrook is. Going to play at Ohatchee, that's a tall order. That could be maybe a toss of the coin type game to call right now.
Kind of goes with Patrick's question. He said, "What's the best game coming next Friday?" I mean,
it's got to be Westbrook and Ohatchee.
In terms of the name game, Southside Etowah is going to grab headlines because it's a huge rivalry.
Sure.
But on paper, Etowah, probably they look like they should take care of business against Southside. Yeah. So, Westbrook, Ohatchee. That one's going to be interesting. I'm really curious about seeing how that one turns out.
And another one now that you're going to have to underline is Anniston at Hoax Bluff.
For sure.
That's going to be a biggie, and just to see how the Eagles respond to a very hot Anniston football team. Next week, just some of the games. Looking ahead, Bob Jones comes to Gadsden City. Southside goes to Etowah. Gadsden goes to Woodland. Glencoe goes to Walter Welborn. Sardis is at Douglas. Westbrook's at Ohatchee, as we mentioned. Coosa Christian, who took a night off tonight, they are at Decatur Heritage. Anniston goes to Hoax Bluff. Albertville goes to Coleman. That should be a decent game. Weaver at Piedmont. Boaz at Pisgah. White Plains at Cherokee County. Cedar Bluff at Section. Ider at Collinsville. And North Sand Mountain at Sand Rock. Like I said, 2 games that really catch my eye. It's got to be Westbrook Ohatchee, and then now Anniston at Hoax Bluff.
Well, and let's not overlook too Gadsden City, Bob Jones. Bob Jones is now 0-4.
Wow, who would have thought that?
So they lost tonight to Florence 55-24. The week before that, they lost to James Clemens 35-17. So could it be the week Gadsden City gets the first win?
We'll wait till next week.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Gadsden City tonight lost 17-0. Or they were lost 17-6, but it was 17-0. Gadsden City's able to get score late.
And Gadsden City made a push there late in the second half and really could have made things interesting had they scored. And they couldn't quite get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Do they get over the hump this upcoming week? I don't know. Bob Jones is a pretty explosive football team, and the teams that Bob Jones has played, they're no pushovers.
Right.
Clemens is good. Florence is good.
If you didn't hear us talk much about Southside and Coosa Christian tonight, that's because they were off.
Yep.
So that's why we didn't talk much about them. They'll both be back in action next week. So, so it should be a full. I don't know if I can't remember off the top of my head if anybody
looks
is
like
off
a full slate. Mm-hmm. I think we're looking at a full slate. Just to recap a few of the scores tonight: Austin over Gadsden City 17-6. Etowah over Sardis 58-13. Sylvania over Gadsden 52-0. Glencoe over BB Comer. BB Comer over Glencoe. 40-0. Westbrook Christian over West End 63-29. Aniana over number 2 Hoax Bluff 44-13. Buckhorn over Albertville 24-7. Piedmont over Randolph County 27-15. And Alexandria over Boaz 34-14. Like I said, really was wondering if there were going to be any fireworks on Friday the 13th. The fireworks obviously were in Aniana.
I'm still pretty shocked by that one. I'll say that.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly happened on that deal, but I would imagine there's some unhappy folks and probably some folks watching film right now in Hoax Bluff.
It's a long season, so early in region play. Hoax Bluff's going to be fine, but they have to start taking care of business,
They
in the
really
region.
do.
Aniston, they can't afford to lose that one, or they're
No,
in a
they
tough
cannot.
spot. So,
Yeah,
because you still got Jacksonville lurking down the road.
yeah. You go down 0-2 in that region, and you're going to be on the road in the first round of the playoffs.
All right. Yeah, well, it's going to be some big ones next week.
Indeed. I know Teddy's going to be in Ohatchee. I'm going to be in Hoax Bluff. If you happen to see us there on the sidelines, be sure to say hello.
For sure.
We'd love to talk to you and hear any tidbits of information you may have. And then again, please join us again around 10:30 or so, just depending upon how the weather treats us and if we can get back in time. We'll be back on Facebook Live and we'll recap the next week. Let's see, we'll be in week 4 of the high school football season. Folks, our time is up. We thank you for yours. Have a good night.